We're live here in Southern California. It's a beautiful day here, about 85 degrees, 10 mile an hour. I'm just lying through my teeth. It's getting ready to rain here in Southern California. On the line with us is a very interesting guest. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to put out your cigarette and put the drink aside. I want you listening carefully, because if you own a business or you're starting a business, and if you don't get people to find you, if you can't drive traffic to your site, good luck. I don't know how you're going to make a dime. Sitting to my left, and if you can go to Facebook, we're live every day, Facebook Live on KHTS 1220 AM, and you can see how handsome I am. And Brian Johnson, I don't know. You can make up your own mind what you want to do there. And Lindsay McCoy, the fabulous, the smart, the witty. I can't say like attractive or gorgeous anymore, because people would be picketing. People would be wearing hats and all kinds of stuff.
That would be dangerous.
Well, you're wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hat.
Oh, good point. Lindsay could wear a hat too. All right, so
take away from her beauty.
The show is about helping you do better in your life. Maybe there's a word, a phrase, an idea that we're going to come up with, and you can use the word, the phrase, the idea to help you do a little bit better in your life. God bless you. That's Justin Goldilocks, our producer. And don't make fun of his name, because he gets enough of it. No, his last name's Goldilocks. So, can you imagine going through school?
Well, and plus we got 3 people here.
Yeah,
you're too hot, I'm too cold. You're just right.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Brian Johnson. You're on your game today. Yeah? Maybe you should drink. Maybe you should drink before you come to the studio every time. The highway patrol's out there looking for your rolls or your drivers right out front.
Hey, I don't drink anything more than iced tea.
Where's your driver? How big is that guy? 6'9", your driver? Look, the car's parked out there. It's a cold. Anyway, Brian Johnson's an attorney, Justin. So if you say anything off color, you're going to get a letter in the mail. Welcome to Southern California, Justin Herring. Your website, sir, is?
It's yeahlocal.com.
And what do you do for a living?
I run a digital marketing agency in Atlanta, and we focus on helping local small businesses generate, leads and phone calls from the internet.
And how do you get dates? Because when I was a young man, I'd tell girls I was in sales, and they'd run to the other side of the room. So Seinfeld used to be my favorite show. So I started telling girls I was an architect, and everybody would hover around me. So
maybe it wasn't sales.
Really?
Maybe there's another issue.
Yeah, maybe so.
All right. Well, I don't have to worry too much about that since I'm married. So.
All right, good for you. Congratulations. So welcome aboard. So somebody is starting a business. Their website's done, and they call you next, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we hope they call us while they're fixing their website, but yeah, a lot of times it happens where they call us after the website's done, and at that point, a lot of times they think that since the website's done, all of a sudden everybody's just going to come and find it, and that is far from the truth. So what happens is your website's done, and then you actually have to get people to come to the website, either through promoting it or having it set up properly so that Google and Bing and Yahoo and all the others can find it for those certain search terms that you're trying to go after.
So I have a couple of questions. First of all, what would the typical person who's running a business, they want to get, 10,000 people in the first year, how many keywords do you think they would need to optimize?
It would all depend on what they're selling or what they're doing. It could be just one search term where, let's say they're trying to sell. I don't know. If something is getting searched, say like 30,000 times a month, it may just be you just go after that one search term.
Let's say DJ services. Brian on the weekend does a little DJ, and so let's say you're starting a DJ service. We have a lot of young people listen to our show. So start from that point.
Well, we would go and look and see how many people are searching for DJ services in your area, and hopefully there's a lot. If there's not, then if there is, then you would obviously work on optimizing the site. I'd have to see how many search terms, but I'm guessing you would probably need to show up for at least 10 to 50 different terms. And then if no one's searching for it, you're going to have to do an alternative plan, which would probably be, you got to go out and get in front of people through Facebook or, Instagram or some other sources.
Well, let's take a step back, because I don't know how much people realize about SEO. You do. I have a little knowledge. Coach has a little knowledge. Lindsay has a little knowledge. But why don't you go over a little bit about what search engine optimization is and how that works and how long it takes?
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do is obviously you're going to get your website set up. You want to make sure all your branding is done. And then, so the SEO part of it is really kind of the back end side of the site. And setting it up properly for, let's say, we were talking about DJ services. So you need to make sure that the search engines and Google, they understand what your site is trying to get found for. So if you don't set up the titles and the descriptions on your site correctly, then the search engines have no idea what your site is about, besides if the content you have on it. And sometimes people don't have enough content.
Now, when you refer to titles, I mean, I've heard the word meta tag, I've heard the word titles on a headline. Explain, because not everybody is as knowledgeable as you are about SEO.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it sound as easy as possible. So it's the meta tags, meta descriptions, all that kind of stuff that you have to go into the back end and put correctly. So the main thing, though, is the number one thing that I see people messing up on, and what you guys were talking about, is the first step is to find the search terms that people are going after that, the big brands or big sites are not taking up the first page on. So, DJ services in, California, there might be a huge company that's dominating the first page, and there's no way you're going to ever overtake them.
But in terms of research, what would you do? You'd go to the keyword planner on Google, probably? Is that the route you would take?
I use a service called kwfinder.com, and it's extremely easy. I find the Google keyword planner pretty cumbersome and kind of confusing.
And this keyword planner, is this just for Google, or is it for Google, Bing, Yahoo, and all the other search engines that are out there?
It's mostly just for Google, but if you're, they're all searching the same. I would focus mostly on Google because it's going to get about 70 or so percent of the search traffic. They're all searching the same. I would focus mostly on Google because it's going to get about 70 or so percent of the search traffic.
So all of this is increases the prominence of a web page, and these are very important items, it seems. Is there one? Do you use all of these methods, or do you select certain methods to based on the different type of website?
Yeah, you got to use all of them. That's where it gets really confusing. So you've got to set the website up properly. You then need to start creating content and kind of get the word out there. Then you have to go out and you got to promote that content. And then you need to, the number one factor that gets your website to show up is links back from other sites. So let's just say that you were the number one DJ service in California, and let's just say Forbes.com wrote an article on you and put a link back to your site. That would be something very good for your site, and you need as many of those as possible. And so that's the hardest part, is trying to get those so that you can show up.
That's really hard. Let's talk about that. I get the link part, but so you pick up the phone and then you're calling, let's say a store that sells electronic equipment for DJs, and they have a popular site. The first question that guy's going to ask you is, how popular is your site? How many people do you have? So it's, when you're starting out, it's difficult to get link partners, isn't it?
Yeah, that would take forever if you were calling up everybody. Usually you've got to go out and create content and get onto other people's sites by giving them the content basically for free. That would link back to your site.
So how do you do it? How do you have content on other websites? Do you have a lot of LinkedIn partners?
Yeah, we do tons of outreach. So we've got hundreds of different partners that we talk with and we can get on.
Now, do you think that you're telling us, though, that links are more important than content? Because I was always under the mistaken impression that content was the most important factor. But you're saying links. So is this something new, or has this always been the case?
It's all. I mean, they go together. So, like, if you write a wonderful blog post that's like 5,000 words, covers every single topic, but it just sits on your site and no one ever sees it, then really it's worth nothing. So what has to happen is it's got to get links back to it some way, somehow, so that Google understands that it's a good piece of work. So if you just have links coming back to your website, but it's a horrible website, then yeah, you'll never make a sale. So it goes in tandem.
Okay, Justin, I have another question for you. What SEO techniques do you use? I know that I understand that there's two classified techniques, such as black hat technique and white hat technique. Do you use both or either of those, and/or?
Well, why don't you explain what that is first? Because I don't know that everybody knows that.
Yeah. So white hat would just be you're doing everything above the board, supposedly, and you're never in. The problem with true white hat is meaning that you just post a blog post and you just cross your fingers and hope that everybody understands that it's great and they'll find it. But in reality, white hat would be what we're talking about, where you go out and you promote the blog to maybe other websites that would enjoy linking back to it, or something like that. Black hat would be where you go out and let's say you take that same blog post and you spam it out to 100 different sites, linking back to yours, and it's just a mess. And at some point,
which one works the best, though? Isn't it pretty cool that Lindsay knew that question asked, and it's cooler that you even knew the answer? Give your website again. We're talking to Justin Herring. If you own a business, ladies and gentlemen, you want an expert. His price is right. I asked him the other day what he charges. He's spot on. I pay that kind of money myself. And like I said earlier, I got to be number one on Google. Made a lot of money because I got to number one. And when people typed in motivational speaker, Coach Ron Tunick came up. So I take it very seriously. This is the one. I would actually fire a web builder and hire Justin to do everything, because most web builders, Lindsay and Brian, they don't have a clue about SEO. They'll build your website like your boring site called AskBrien.com, B-R-I-E-N.
I don't think it's boring.
I think it's boring. I think you turn it over to Justin. Let Justin get that baby hyped up and linked to 1,000 people, man. If you want to look at a boring website, go to AskBrien.com, B-R-I-E-N. And you know what? It'll put you to sleep. If you've got sleeping issues, you don't need to take anything over the counter. Just go to
sleeping issues.
Put me to sleep last night.
Every time I have a call with you, I'm sleeping.
Every time it put me to sleep last night. So what's your site again, Justin? Justin? Stay with us, Justin.
I'm here.
It's because he's listening to you. He fell asleep.
I know. It's local, YEAH-local.com.
Oh, wow. You couldn't get an easier name like chickenlittle.com? I mean, you're in the business. So let me come in and manage your whole thing and take over what you're doing. You need a simple name like chickenlittle.com or something.
Have you looked at domains recently?
I should have.
Yeah, I own a few hundred of them.
Yeah, well, there's not too many names left.
There really isn't. If I started buying domain, and Justin knows this, if I started buying domain names like in 1997, 98, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now.
Yeah.
I'd be on my yacht.
Well, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Brian Johnson's got his driver outside. He's a big-time attorney in Beverly Hills, and he built this site to really help people so they don't have to pay you, really? I mean, that was your heart. You have a big heart, even though I tease you.
I do have a big heart. My goal is to help people and to help businesses and let them get going. And anything I can do to help them out, that's our goal.
And we try to, every week, bring good guests on, legitimate guests, guys that are real, like Justin. Justin Herring.
We have very good guests.
Yeah, you can Google him, too. Last name is Herring. I didn't know how to spell Justin, so I really fouled that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll buy you a dictionary for you.
No, I'm the world's worst speller, and I'm putting in Justine. It came, and
Nice.
I put in Justine Herring, and Justine. They're looking. The police are looking for Justine Herring. That's hilarious. Nice. Back to SEO and our expert.
Yeah.
Back to okay. So what you are an expert in is local. If somebody has a business here in Santa Clarita, you're going to help them really drive traffic from local, right?
Correct. Yes,
Good.
Yes, yeah. So we work on the local level area. Correct.
And can you teach people what you do? I mean, do you ever think about teaching people how to do this?
We actually have a course out.
Oh, cool.
We teach people some of it. The problem is to teach them the intricacies and to do it. You really would have to take this on as a full-time job.
That's
it's
true.
It's a little tough to kind of, but you can get the main portions, and know what you're looking at so that you can qualify, the different SEO companies or people, so you don't get, you don't get messed up in the wrong.
What about like landing pages? Let's talk about landing pages because let's give your site again, which I think is a ridiculous name, but let's give it out again. Dash something. It's yay, Y-E-A, yay.
Yay-local.com.
Yay-local.com.
Yay!
Yay-local.com. Yay! Woo! Woo! Why don't you go woo? Local.com.
Hey, I also have a question too. That I know you're asking the landing question, but
Can he finish answering my question about landing pages? So could you have, like you have yay-local.com, which is, well, in your opinion, you like it, but that's fine. But couldn't you have like 100 landing pages with different names and they all go back to you? Justin, isn't that a cool idea?
I wouldn't actually do that. What I would do.
All right, you talk to him. I'm done with him. Go ahead.
well, you didn't like the answer?
I really don't.
You're a people pleaser guy, huh?
I really don't like this answer. You take over the interview. I'm fed up with this guy.
Ron, out of here.
Yay-local. Yay-local. Go ahead. You take over the interview.
So I want to know about on SEO. You're talking about SEO, but what else do you have to do? I mean, obviously it's SEO that you're doing, but there's other things besides SEO. What are some of the other items?
Well, I mean, SEO would be kind of like the last thing that you really need to start doing once you are building a business. You need to, obviously, you got to get the website set up. You got to set up all your social properties. You got to start building your email list. You got to actually start getting some clients. And then I would go into doing SEO because SEO is not like, hey, let me do this for 1 month and then, I'll stop. It's one of those things you got to keep doing or it's not going to work. So you got to get out there and really just make things happen. And then once you're at that stage of your website's generating a little bit of traffic, you're really moving a little bit, that's when you can put on the gas pedal.
Well, what about if you have a forum? I mean, or a freemium site. How are you going to do that? You're not bringing in the revenue.
You got to promote it. You got to go out there and you got to again, you got to write blogs. You got to do the SEO on the site. You can go. There's different ways to go out without taking up a ton of time. I mean, there's different ways to go onto Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Google Plus groups, and push out content. Maybe talking about your forum to drive traffic back to the site.
All right, we got to have you back because there's so much to this. His name is Justin Herring. Yay-local.
No, it's yay like that. The
yay.
Y.
Yeah, no, I didn't spell yay. Y-E-A. No, but he knows his stuff.
Well,
and we need to have him back because there's so much to this. He just talked about groups, right? So I have a group. I don't know what to do with it, but
what kind of group?
a golfing group on Saturday morning. That's the kind of groups I'm in.
The good old boys network?
I'm not in drinking groups like you are. I'm golf groups. Golf groups. Will you come back to Southern California? Will you come back and be like our SEO king champion?
Yeah, sure. Get me on whenever.
No, you're fun though. I mean, you're young. You're fun.
We've got a ton of blog posts as well that they can read and go kind of figure out what's going on. We've got them on our site that'll kind of walk them through everything.
If you find one person in America that reads, call me, and I'll buy you a
I'm
Jersey
trying.
Mike's
Right here,
gift
I
card.
read.
Yeah.
Lindsay
Yeah.
reads.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Jersey Mike's gift cards. You know I give them away, 298-5487. The phone's ringing off the hook, so when Lori answers, just you got to give her your name, address, and we'll get the gift cards to you and the Starbucks too. 298-5487. We're here. We're live every day on KHTS 1220 AM. We're going to take a break now. Yes, Justin will have him back because I want to get into what he said. There's about 100 things he said, Lindsay, that we need to ask him when he comes back about, like LinkedIn. Can we?
Do you know how to count? Because I don't think it was 100.
Hey, Goldilocks, do we have Goldilocks? He's Goldilocks, can you pay attention for 2 minutes?
He's checking out the porridge.
Can we bring Justin back in about 5 minutes, or when we Justin, can you come back? Can you hold on just for a commercial break? I want to ask you about LinkedIn. Okay, yeah. Justin Herring on yay-local.com. We'll be right back on the show we call AskBrien, BRIEN.com. It's boring. You can go to it, rate the site. I don't care. BRIEN. Check it out.
The goal is to
put
answer
you to
a
sleep.
question.
The site will put you to sleep. We're here, the best producer, period, in Southern California. We have him right here. Mr. Goldilocks is running the show like he has been for the coach for a number of years. And Brian Johnson, and the fabulous, the smart, the intuitive, the creative, the genius of really the three of us. Her name is Lindsay McCoy. She's a very, 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 very successful realtor in Century City, and if your home isn't worth $5 million, don't even waste her time, because she's not going to list it or sell it. So we have a great guest. He's a great radio guest because he plays along with us. He's got a sense of humor, and you know what, Brian? He's smart. He's actually smart, and his name is Justin Herring.
The only people we have on that show are smart people.
No, he's really smart, Justin Herring, and it's SEO done locally. His site is yay-local.com. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. I can't be more so. Let me take 10 seconds to be serious. If you own a business,
Do you know
and
how
you
to be serious?
just for 10 seconds. If you own a business and you don't SEO, you're wasting your time. You've spent a lot of money on a website. Nobody's going to go there. Nobody's going to care. SEO, search engine optimization. And Justin will be back many times. He'll teach us all how to use how to use SEO. But you had a question.
Yeah, I did have a question, Justin. So if you put a video on your site versus putting a blog post on your site, which is going to optimize quicker, and will you get the same optimization by having a video as having a blog post?
So I would have both of them, but for a video, Google can't really understand the content in that video, but it can understand the title of the video. So the video will actually show up in search results. It's not going to help your website per se. The content will help your website, but the video could actually show up higher in search results by itself, if that makes sense.
That did answer my question.
Okay.
And let's do a follow-up question on that. So, what is the best content to have? Just a blog post, or is the website itself, or the landing page?
You don't have to answer that, Justin, without charging him. I'm your agent. Don't answer that question until he sends you a check.
Well, he wants a podcast from the show, so he'll give it to me.
Yeah. No, you want to have a website. You need content on it so that the search engines understand what it is, and then you want to. I mean, you've got to have words, video, and in a blog, you can have all the above. So you need to have pictures, content, video. You can have that all in one blog post, and you could actually make it a really big blog post and not have to produce a bunch of them. So a lot of people get into this. I'm going to produce 500 words, not put any images in it, not put any video, and then they try to do that continually, where really they could just do one blog post a month, make it really great with videos, pictures, and everything, and then just promote it, and they would be done for the month.
Now, the title in the video, is that a meta tag?
No, that's a title, and then they do have some tags in there for the video, but no, it would just be the title of the video.
So if I typed in if I had a title there, what's the best merchant account rate? And
are you trying to get free advice? Is this what's going on
This
here?
is not free advice.
This show is called AskBrien.com.
We are trying to inform the viewers.
Got it. All right. Good.
We're educating.
Fine,
That's the problem. You don't understand our show.
Go. Fine.
So, did you understand the question, or you need me to repeat?
Yeah. So if you were if you're trying to show up for a video, a lot of times the best ones for those on YouTube is going to be a question. So If you're talking about merchant services, you maybe you put in how to find the best merchant service provider, or that would be the title of your video. Again, you'd want to find out, which ones you could actually rank for. So don't go after something that you're never going to be able to show up for because it's just too hard.
If you want an expert in merchant services, have them call Coach Ron Tunick. All right, we have a minute left. You'll be back. His name is Justin Herring. His site is yea-local.com.
Yay.
Great radio guest. Thank you. You'll be back many times on the show we call AskBrien, B-R-I-E-N. We had fun today. What did you learn? We're starting a new segment at the end of every show. What did you learn today?
Well, I learned a great deal about SEO.
And Lindsay, what did you learn?
Exactly the same.
And you know what I learned in this last segment is blogging is more important than anything because Google can't pick up the video. They can pick up the title, but blogging, right?
That was very
That was good.
Correct.
We didn't learn anything about LinkedIn, but we're going to have Justin back and learned a lot about LinkedIn because it's a very popular business.
Well, maybe
site.
we'll bring somebody in a LinkedIn special.
Well, Justin knows LinkedIn.
do
All right, see you next week on the show called Thank You, Justin. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You
Thanks for
betcha.
having me on.
You'll be getting
betcha.
the Mike Jersey sub from Ron any minute.
4 of them. AskBrien, BRIEN.com. See you next week.